Welcome to another episode of
What day is it?
Look at that, I let Fluffy in on the intro.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We're sharing.
So this week, you guys, you just have us again. I'm super sorry. So hopefully we won't bore you guys again this week with whatever the fuck we talk about. I'm not cool enough to get any more guests, but maybe we'll try again for.
We got guests lined up. They're just not working out right now.
Yeah, there's plenty of people we're gonna get on for you, and really we're just kind of talking shit.
But we did have a pretty epic last week. So
We did have a fun last week. If you want to tip her off.
yeah, so got a new camel. His name is Flynn. He's 8 years old. He's a cute little bugger, and he's a bobble baby.
I don't know about little. Yeah, so, all right, we got a tip on this camel out of Missouri. His name is Flynn, like Fluffy said. Basically, he came up to us through a trainer, Terry Lindley. She messaged Jason Martin, who then messaged me. Somewhere down the Yellow Brick Road, we acquired this camel because he was being a pest back home. He, like Fluffy said, he's a bottle baby, and if we have talked about bottle baby camels on here, which I don't know if we have,
A little bit.
it's the worst thing you could do to a camel for sure. So Flynn, he's not small. He is 7'8" at the hump. He is absolutely massive, and he is not a force to be reckoned with.
No, he is a very strong boy.
He is strong as shit. Matter of fact, if you guys were in the room with us right now, you would probably leave because we just had a training a training session with Flynn, and I all of my deodorant went bye-bye.
Yeah, it's a little warm out today.
For sure. And Fluffy's trying to turn the fan on, but we're recording. No fans. So anyway, Flynn was down south in Missouri. We drove about 10 hours to pick him up and 10 hours back.
You drove the first leg, man. That was crazy.
I did take the first 10 hours, and then I drove some of it home too.
I know.
You fuckers.
I would have drove again.
I don't know.
I needed to get sleep.
I don't know. My brother went with us as well.
Shout out to Sid.
Shout out to Sid. He'll be on here one of these days. So Fluffy and him handled most of the drive home, but anyway, Flynn was down there wreaking havoc, and they down there they were kind of frightened of Flynn, not only because of his size but because of how he was acting. See, bottle baby camels, they don't like being told no, in a nutshell, and Flynn had never really been told no. So he was kind of becoming a danger. He was still getting, kind of bottles used as like dewormer and stuff, and kind of like a treat. They would mix wormer with Gatorade and give them their medication that way through a baby bottle. It's a no-go. It wreaks havoc. It's giving him what he wants. He had broken Bill Rivers' ribs. He's a trainer. And I believe messed up his nose, she said. I don't know if that was another guy, if that was also Bill.
There's been a couple hands on him though.
Yeah, there's been a few hands. It's all well-known people, but Flynn, he definitely got the upper on that one. So the lady, she, kind of, said he was dangerous, and I told her, I was like, you should probably sell him before you get hurt.
Yeah.
She was super upset. It made me feel bad picking Flynn up, but he's here. He's getting trained. He's doing okay. Nobody's been hurt.
Did an awesome job in the trailer after we got him in the.
Yeah. It took us about 15 minutes to get Flynn into the trailer,
which was better than I thought.
It was good for sure. We got him in there with just a lead rope and a foot rope, and I didn't want to break out any large ropes if we didn't have to. But by the time he decided to hop into the trailer, the ropes were fraying.
We had 2 strands left of the one.
Literally, it was hanging on by a thread. Literally. So glad thing he hopped in there, and then we got him in the front compartment.
And he pulled the chain or the clip open too.
Yeah, the clip on our lead rope. There's I don't know how to describe it. There's clips that are meant to go around like chain link and stuff, and then you shut the clip with a vise. And he just completely bent it backwards. So that was broke. And then the foot rope is no longer. Well, I guess that foot rope is still usable because you could rebraid it.
Yeah.
And there was a hole on the other end of it as well. It was two-sided. So I guess that's a good thing. But he's a strong bastard, that's for sure. He's pretty for sure. You guys can check out. I made a TikTok video showing him off. He will be on quarantine for the next 2 or 3 weeks or so, just until everything is kind of like displaced and we figure out if we want to put him on a worming regimen and just make sure things are okay and that we get him feeling at home here. So we're using these next couple weeks to do as much training with him as we can before we put him in with our boys, so that way he has some manners, and whatever is left, the camels we already have will take care of it.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the alpha, though. No question.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I mean, Doofus is becoming a wuss in his old age, but I think there's going to be some type of argument between Newton and Flynn.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Flynn is larger than all of them, but I don't quite think that matters. I mean, Doofus is the heaviest one in there.
Yeah.
And he used to be a little more dominant than he is now. I don't know why. He's the only one with fangs.
Right. Well, thank God for that, though.
Yeah, right. Newton with fangs, don't even want to see it. But I'm really not sure who will be the dominant. It might be Flynn. The biggest tip up on that is it sounds like, well, actually, I don't know if it sounds like he was the dominant one back home.
No, he was in with a bull.
He was in with a bull, a young bull, and then another gelding. But she had said that Flynn loved attention, so anytime she showed the other camels attention, Flynn would throw a hissy fit. I didn't ask on more detail, so I don't know if she ran the other guys off or what. I have no idea. But it'll be a show, I mean, hopefully they all just get along.
Right.
I mean, generally camels just fucking get along.
Most of the time, yeah.
So,
They'll get along after his little manners.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But let's talk about the down trip too, because I gotta say it. We stopped at a Buc-ee's and that was epic. I was not expecting that. Got the hat on right now.
He's wearing a Buc-ee's hat.
Man, Buc-ee's all the way.
Well, he was asking about Buc-ee's a little bit, and he said something about the quality or whatever, and I said that it was bad for the wallet. And we made this stop to Buc-ee's. I got a delicious pulled pork sandwich, and I don't know. I think I just got a water. It was a short trip for me, and then
yeah, you were in and out.
Yeah, fluffy. Well, I got out of the gas station because I had cash in the truck.
Oh.
I didn't want to leave it. There was $5,000 for Flynn in there.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I didn't have a fanny pack on me or nothing, and I don't like walking around with that much cash in my pocket.
I don't like walking around with $100 in cash.
No. So anyway, Fluffy finally comes out of the Buc-ee's, and he spent like $80
easily. Got a hat. I was gonna buy a shirt too. Didn't get a shirt, but see, I got peas. That brisket sandwich, man. Ooh,
yeah,
it slaps. I wanted a burrito too, but I was a little nervous. Long day driving.
Well, tell us about the restrooms.
Man, beautiful, cleanest restrooms, because everybody knows how I like to pee. Oh, was that good? It's like they have their own stall. Everyone has their own stall, and it's brick.
And there's like 50 of them.
Yes.
So for those of you that have not been to a Buc-ee's, it's basically a giant like Walmart gas station.
Oh, yeah.
With they have a wall of beef jerky. They have the cleanest restrooms with 1 million stalls. They have so much soda, so much food, and it's decent quality shit. It's not a Speedway burger.
Like I think the brisket sandwich is like $8.
Yeah, you can't. I mean I'm not too mad at it.
No.
Because at the end of the day, you leave with the brisket sandwich, you get your chips and your drink, and you're still spending $12. That's a meal somewhere.
And they have a tortilla machine there.
They do have a tortilla machine.
That blew my mind.
I didn't try it.
No.
Next time.
Yeah.
So the Buc-ee's, so our drive was about 9.5 hours with putzing around and stopping and whatnot.
Stopped at the antique store, Pink Elephant show.
Yeah, we stopped at the Pink Elephant. Fluffy had been here before, so he was like, let's stop, and I thought about it for a while, and then we stopped. I hate trying to park trailers, but there's plenty of room.
Oh yeah.
But it's in an old schoolhouse, and there's literally a giant pink elephant statue outside of it. And out next to the giant pink elephant, there was like a fucking 16-foot, 20-foot tall statue of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And then there was a statue of someone else too. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was like UFOs and
UFO,
shit.
yeah.
Like, it was just a weird place. As far as antique malls go, I mean, it was your standard antique mall.
It was bigger though, and a lot of crap.
And then Fluffy spent $200 in there.
Yeah, well, I got a cool camel though.
I bought a $7 glass camel, and then Fluffy found, and then I bought an old plushy Build-A-Bear camel.
Mm-hmm.
Fluffy, he's the real winner here. We both went back and forth on buying this camel he found. I think it was $125.
Yeah.
And man, it is beautiful.
I gotta get a cover for it though.
Yeah.
Shade.
You ain't gonna want to plug it in anyway.
No, so I plugged it in at the store just to make sure it worked. It has a red light bulb in it, and it zapped me. There's a short somewhere, but the plug is so old.
Right.
Dude, it's got to be from like the early 1900s.
It's cool. It's a camel lamp. It's like a camel laying down, and then it has a lamp coming out of the hump. And then the hump actually it opens too.
Little stash hump.
Yeah, you can put your stuff in there. But
all your stuff.
It's completely made out of cast iron.
Yeah,
like
so cool.
it weighs more than like 5 bottles of Gatorade.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's a heavy lamp.
Huge.
It was worth the price. Unfortunately, the fucker had firm written on it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm not mad that you bought it. Somebody had to buy that.
Right.
You know, I'm glad it was you.
I gave it to you first. I found it. I'm like,
As much as I would love for that to be a part of my collection, because I've never seen anything like it, I was going to buy a real camel, and I was broke.
Yeah.
So whatever. There's always next time. I mean, we got enough camels going on here, but if I would have had like 125 cash in my pocket, I'd have brought that home. But now you got the coolest camel. I got so many camel trinkets, but that one has to be far cooler than anything I have.
I think I still like my box more, my camel box.
The camel box is cool.
Super cool.
See, you got 2 really cool ones, and you paid a lot for the camel box too. What was that?
Maggie bought that. That was $85.
And you broke it.
Yeah, it was already broke.
You finished it.
Broke it again.
And then we're going to we're at the Pink Elephant picking up all our items, and we're putting our stuff at the desk so we don't have to carry it around with it. And we totally look like we're
psychos.
Yeah, we're rizzing them with the tizzing them, and they're the whole like the where the cash register is just lined with camel shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done this before. But they're like, what's with all the camel stuff? And I'm like, well, we train camels, and we're going to pick one up, and blah, 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 blah. And of course that sparks a quick conversation that I attempt to get out of, because I don't really feel like it. I mean, I guess I could have just said I like camels, but
I like camels.
I like camels.
Which is true also.
Valid, super true. The lady kept trying to sell us this Joe Camel, the cigarette camel.
It was so cool.
A poker set.
Brand new,
which is crazy because that one was $40 or something, and then the one on the other side of the store that I found was like 60, 70, not brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are always like, I don't know if they try to underquote people, or if they like don't know that other booths are selling the same shit.
Probably. You don't go walking around every day.
Right. That one was wrapped.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool item. I just got like no love for the cigarette camel.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. But the Pink Elephant was cool, and then that was probably about halfway through the drive, maybe.
No.
A little more.
Well, actually, it was before St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Right before, so about halfway.
Yeah. And then the total of the drive was 9.5 hours.
With multiple stops.
With multiple stops, so it was longer than that. But
got
the
there.
drive, we got there pretty late.
Yeah.
And then the Buc-ee's was about an hour before. It was exactly an hour before the stop, actually. The GPS said 59 minutes from Buc-ee's. And so where did we go the next day when we left? We went to Buc-ee's. We had to stop. We had to go one more time. Which, by the way, on the way home, probably like 3-4 hours after the Buc-ee's, we stopped at a knockoff Buc-ee's.
There's only 2 of them that I found, too.
Really?
Wally's, yep.
Yep, they're called Wally's. And it was not as cool.
No, it was good, though.
Yeah, I mean, I had a slice of pizza.
If Buc-ee's didn't exist, this place would be like,
I'd go to Wally's
yeah.
for sure.
And it's the closest, like, big super gas station
Right.
to us.
The part we're leaving out about Buc-ee's is there's like hundreds of fuel pumps.
Hundreds.
And to me, I love this. All of them have diesel.
And there's no trucks.
Yeah.
No 18-wheelers allowed.
Yep, no semis, but I can bring my camel trailer in. Let's go.
We had the biggest trailer.
Normal this Buc-ee's was smaller. 'Cause there were fuel pumps on two sides of the buildings. All the Buc-ee's I had seen, I believe, had fuel pumps on all four sides
All
of the
four?
building. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they don't fuck around.
No.
You know, I mean, people like Buc-ee's probably don't even care about making money off the fuel.
No.
They just they drive people in with that shit and then make millions of dollars off of Buc-ee hats.
Yeah. And cups. The cups are so nice too.
You know what's better than the cups? These marshmallow mints.
Oh, fire.
They're so good. If you guys go to Buc-ee's, they sell them by the registers.
Man.
They're like roasted marshmallow flavored mints. They kind of taste like a marshmallow. Like, I don't think they taste like a campfire or anything like that, but whatever it is, man, it's good. And it's not the mint that's going to make your breath smell good at all.
To make it smell like a marshmallow.
Yeah, but it's fucking delicious.
But they're so addicting. And they're not even that bad for you. Like 1 gram of sugar.
No, just some sugar alcohols.
Sugar, yeah. Can't eat too many.
But we get to this lady's property, huge, 600 acres.
Man.
I'm trying not to like put her business out there, so I'm not saying her name, but the sweetest woman I've ever
lady.
met. Beautiful property. Every like her horses and cows and all that stuff. Every pen was made out of just this beautiful large metal pipe.
Could hold rhinos in there.
Literally, her horse pen could have held a rhino. And it was just a beautiful property. We had a good time for the night. We stayed at the guest house, and then the next morning we loaded up Flynn, and we had to take Flynn to the vet in the morning so the doctor could release his tuberculosis test, which he did, and then we flew on home.
Oh, you left out the water buffalo.
Yeah. The vet, surrounding the vet's office, they owned all this land from what I assume. And
must have.
They have cows, but they had a water buffalo in there.
And baby cows.
They were all so cute. Now, I had seen water buffalo before. I've seen water buffalo a million times. I've worked around them. But I've never, like, I guess, been close to one. But this guy, he the vet, Dr. What was his name? Gentry. Dr. Gentry or Gentry it was. And somebody brought him this water buffalo as a baby. And they basically surrendered it to him, and he raised it, and he was in there just cuddling with it, rubbing it. Like, it was the sweetest thing. I mean, at the end of the day,
like
they're
a dog.
Right. I mean, they're basically cows.
Yeah.
It's cattle, you know, but it's cool, you know, seeing them be that friendly. And that motherfucker was not small.
No, it's huge.
Like, I would definitely be a little intimidated by that guy.
And he just jumped over. He's just rubbing his belly. I was like, I'm jealous.
I'm far more afraid of cattle than I am camel.
Really?
Absolutely.
It only got horns.
Right. Yeah, I'm not fucking with that. A bull, I'm good, man.
The horns hurt.
I'm super good at that.
That's why everybody keeps saying, get a longhorn. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, their horns are so far apart, you're probably more likely to get gouged in the eye on accident than you are to get, like, speared.
Yeah.
But if they run at you, you're going to get
nowhere
hit.
to go.
It's like a football field goal running at you. You know, the whole tower just running at you. And it still ain't going to feel good. I'm good on that. And longhorns are beautiful, but people don't realize the damage they do to property, too. Like, it's almost easier to put them in, like, a metal fence like that. Because what if they get stuck in your game fence? If they're not respectful to your game fence, I mean, they're just going to destroy it.
Yep.
You know, and I don't want to deal with that. Cows can be very, very destructive. A lot of them aren't, but when they are, it's a pain in the ass.
That we have, name was Tusi here, a longhorn. She was friendly, but, like, when she wasn't paying attention, that's when you get the poke.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't feel good.
No, it was pretty rare, too. She's pretty good about it, for the most part, but...
I don't think I've ever been poked by one.
She picked up a bucket one time with her horn. on accident. That was hilarious. Let us get it off, but yeah, it was funny. He was trying to get the grain in it.
Did she get it off, or did you guys?
She got it off. Or no, we got it off. We got it off.
You saved her.
Yeah, she was chill.
So, moral of the story is we got Flynn home. He's a big bastard. His thing, he was known, I guess, for crushing people.
Mhm.
That's how he had broke or fractured Bill's ribs.
No bites so far.
Yeah, no bites. We were told he wasn't a kicker. He has some kicks in there for sure.
But they're so scary.
We're getting him out though.
His legs are 6 feet tall.
They're huge. He's a big camel, man. So we've been working him inside a pen, mostly in pairs, just so nobody ends up in trouble. Tyler Martin came by yesterday and gave him a pretty good session, and then today, I was walking him around today a little bit before Fluffy got here, and I was like, "You're gonna get in the chute, Camel," and then he didn't, and my phone was dead, and I was just waiting for Fluffy to get here because when you had got here, I was at least sitting in that one position for probably 10 minutes.
Oh, I didn't know it was that long.
I was just like, dude, I was just waiting for him. I figured at some
Yeah.
point he'd move.
Yeah.
He wasn't moving.
He was a rock, dude.
So we ended up tying him to the chute and creating a dally so we could kind of inch him forward as it went. Now, the good thing about him being a bottle baby is we actually tricked him into the chute with a little bit of grain. They're very food motivated. Did he get any at the end? No, of course not. But once we got him in there and taught him, hey, the chute's not scary.
Yeah.
You know, we ran him through the chute like 30 times before we
By
put
the
him
third
back.
time, he was
know.
already in.
Yeah.
No problem.
So the thing with Flynn, unfortunately, and I felt bad for him, is every time he's ever been in a chute, it's been traumatic for him. And it's not supposed to be traumatic. Sometimes it is, because that's where we put them so the veterinarians stay safe, but that's all Flynn has ever experienced. He's been in the chute for things like wormer. He was in the chute to get his TB test. We pulled ticks out of his ear in Missouri, and then we brought him right into the chute here. When we got him home, he had more ticks in his ear. He still has ticks in his ear. He's probably got fucking 10 more in there.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I got to get some Vaseline to slam in there. Jason said I guess it suffocates ticks.
Yeah.
But today we didn't want to pull any more ticks out of his ears because we wanted to show him not every time in the chute is a bad time in the chute. So, you know, the goal would be tomorrow that he just walks right in.
Yep.
Because camels learn very quickly. And if he doesn't, we start from square one. But it's been going good. We actually, the second day he was here, we had a saddle on him. Fluffy said, so much for a week, because I said I wanted a saddle on him in a week, and it was day 2. He did okay. I mean,
all right.
We threw the pad on him, the saddle pad. He was like, what the hell is this for a second? Then the saddle, he took it. It was fine.
He's so calm, like, even when you're touching him on his legs, barely had anything on him.
Yeah, he's a good camel so far, but we see his tendencies. When we were kind of wrestling him earlier to get into the chute, he kept taking us by walls. You know, he knows that walls are his safe space, because if he can get us next to a wall, he can pin us. And that's kind of where it gets terrifying, because I'm voting 1,700 pounds. Fluffy's voting 1,800. We haven't been able to get him on the scale yet. We tried extremely briefly yesterday, but we didn't want to ruin the day, so we just let it slide. We're probably gonna have to make some type of chute system to get him into the scale. But what I was thinking too, if we can get him like 100% going in and out of the trailer, I bet he'll hop right onto the scale.
Oh yeah,
it's the same thing. So maybe we'll kind of concentrate on getting him into the trailer when things are settled down.
I mean, even the boys, they've been in trailers the whole time.
Yeah.
Even getting them up their first time, I'm sure it wasn't easy.
I mean, Doofus and Peanut walked right on the scale.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. Newton's the only one that won't.
Yeah.
I've gotten him on there, but I made a chute. He has no problem stepping up. He goes in the trailer. He steps over shit. He's just, he's Newton and he sucks. So now we have 2 bottle babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was Peanut?
No.
Okay, he's just a horse baby.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's just a horse, which one's worse? You know, probably the bottle baby.
I don't know, because he kicks still.
That's true. Peanut is an idiot, man. But, I mean, Flynn will probably end up being a better camel.
Oh, yeah. I hope so, man, because...
I mean, Peanut, I need to cut him some slack. I talk shit. I mean, he'll do anything I ask.
Oh, yeah.
But
and he's bomb-proof.
For the most part, yeah. He is bomb. I mean, we shot a shotgun off of him, but he's a horse, and he kicks at air, and he does stupid shit, and he doesn't move over, and he's stubborn. And sometimes it makes me want to throw tennis balls at his forehead. You know, he's a fucking dingus. So whatever. We got Flynn home. That was pretty much the majority of the week. Before we went and picked up Flynn, I was in California. I went to the Oasis Camel Dairy for a camel camp. They do camel camp every year. This time of year, it's a Friday through Sunday. It's, in my opinion, it's more camp than camel. I had a really, really, really good time. But it is incredibly novice. They do some safety speeches. They let people brush the camels. They teach people kind of how to lead the camels around. Like, I mean, these are already all bomb-proofed camels. Like, they were all impeccable camels for sure. I mean, there was like no mishaps.
Except for the one you grabbed, right?
He was just fucking with people. Yeah. They were doing an obstacle course, and I had big ass camel. His name's Camelot, of course. Yeah.
A lot of camels.
And we were doing an obstacle course, just walk over some PVC pipe. And it didn't help either that the PVC pipe was only like inch, you know. I mean, it was small stuff. It's easy for a camel to step on. But he was definitely fucking with the new guys. So everybody's like, well, why don't you walk a camel? Because I'm one of the only people that attended that actually works camels. So I grab a camel, and I just expected Camelot to do everything, do all the work, you know. And he's hitting all the pipes and just fucking making me look like shit. But then Gil, the owner of the clinic or of the camp, was like, your camel's hitting everything. I was like, I know, dude. I thought he would just do it. I don't know.
Thought this was easier.
Right, you know? I mean, like, I know my boys, they'll step over shit. But, I mean, even, like, Doofus, I mean, if it's something small enough, he's just going to fucking move it out of the way, you know? But I had a good time. The property was gorgeous. I have no idea how many acres it was, but like the sunsets with the camels in the distance, like it truly was beautiful.
How many camels do they have there?
20.
All female? Any bulls?
I think they only had one bull.
Okay.
Then they had X amount of females and a lot of geldings.
Yeah.
So they had one baby this year, which they did a naming competition. Everybody could put names in the hat at the camp. I didn't put a name in the hat. I was just gonna put Puff Daddy anyway, but it was a female. But the winner was Phyllis.
Phyllis?
Phyllis.
Oh, that's my grandma's sister.
Really?
Yeah.
Is your grandma's sister?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Phyllis.
Yeah. It's a funny name. That's kind of why it won. It got the most, you know, claps or whatever. But Gil, his wife loved it. Gil was not happy about it. So, I mean, well, I guess we'll see if it actually comes out Phyllis. But by vote, it should be Phyllis.
It should be, yeah.
But they did some demonstrations. Like I said, they let people brush the camels. They all tie them up. Jason was there helping and assisting with the camels. A lot of talking about camels. When Jason and Gil were doing presentations, I kind of spent time answering questions for people in the background just because they knew I had like a background in camels. So that made me feel useful because it was hard being a student.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. You know, watching Jason and Gil do these demonstrations. So like, I want so badly to like help and like, I want to grab a camel. Like, it's hard for me to relax in a setting like that. Like, I want to go help you guys in the pasture, catch the camels and bring them up and do stuff like that. But like, it was a little vacation, none of that, you know. But it was a fun time. It was very novice. I didn't really learn much. But to be said, to clarify, I knew that going into it.
Yeah.
Gil had even sent me an email when I booked my ticket for the camp. You know, he's like, "Hey man, I'm just letting you know, like, this is a super beginner thing." And I was like, "That's cool, man. I want to come hang out and see how you guys do things." And
is that your first clinic then too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to go see how they run their clinic mostly. And it was, I mean, as far as I know, it was pretty well done. It was very relaxed, which I like. So Friday night, we didn't really do anything. Everybody arrived like 5-6 o'clock. They gave out name tags and badges, and we all just mingled for a little bit. And then we all got there Saturday morning for the milking of the camel, which was super cool, and the camel milk was tasty. But then, we did introductions on Saturday, and, Friday night, Saturday night, we did s'mores with the camel milk chocolate. And I think it was more about the camp again than it was the camel. It was just the essence of being around the camels and throwing in a little knowledge in there. It was pretty cool, but I really think this is going to help formulate starting a clinic here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really fucking cool. So anybody that wants to learn about camels, stay tuned. I've yet to launch. I wanted to sit on the computer today and kind of get some stuff going, but I didn't because I suck. I'll try and do it this week. But the plan is we're going to launch a clinic here in Wisconsin. There's been a couple clinics in years past, tossed around here, but I want to open an annual one just called the Wisconsin Camel Clinic. With tacos. We can't forget the tacos. The plan is to have Jaramillos bring tacos for lunch for everybody. And then Sunday, I don't know what we'll do for lunch. Because over at Gill's, they did dinner the last day. I'd rather do lunches and just let people leave at 5 or 6 and do whatever the fuck they want to do for dinner, or they can sit around and we'll have a fire and hang out for a little while. I don't mind mingling with people, but I'm not offering people like dinner every night. Like let's do lunch, We'll hang out at the zoo and eat lunch, and then we'll go back to Camels. Now I dabbled calling this the Midwest Camel Clinic for a little while, just to like kind of put my hands on the Midwest. But there's good camel people in the Midwest. And there's a few clinics around, but like I was like, you know what, we're gonna put Wisconsin back on the map here, and I want to do the Wisconsin Camel Clinic.
Yep.
And I want to do this a little different. I want to get, I don't want to, at least for the first few years, I'm not planning on having a clinic where people bring us their camel to train. We'll use our camels like they do at Oasis Camel Dairy. We'll do presentations and leading and stuff like that. But I want to go more in depth with things where it goes with medications, worming. We need to teach people how to trim nails.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about, why we brush them, why we don't shave them. I want to go in depth. I want to talk about their brain and their skulls. And I really want to boil down this animal, and by
they can get a skull, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. I need to order one. I want to order a brain too, put it in some formaldehyde. I really want to get in depth. I want people by the time they leave to understand that it's not just a cool animal. It is the most wild animal on the planet. Every little ounce of their body is built for adaptation. And then I want them to leave also, kind of more knowing or not if they'd ever be interested in working camels,
or owning a camel,
because I want to talk a lot about the downsides too, which in my opinion there's not a lot of, but we do this every day. For the average individual, there may be a lot of hardships with owning this animal that they need to be made aware of. So we'll show these bomb-proof camels. But I don't really, I want to tell people that even though these camels are good, this is what they can do. This is what green ones do. And there's problems training these animals. And that, I had mentioned that at least for the first few years, I don't want people bringing us camels to train. While I'm not opposed to it, let it be known that it's not because I don't want to train a camel. There's 2 reasons that I don't really want to do that. One, you're only going to be with us Saturday and Sunday. We can only put so much work into your animal, especially if we're trying to demonstrate things and, teach a group of 20, 30 people. And B, there's tons of good not even tons. There's a handful of trainers in this country. They're all fine, but they all do things differently. And to be honest with you, people argue about this training's better. No, you should do it this way. You should do it that way. And people tend, camels get moved around and other trainers fix problems that other trainers did, and it's like a gossip world, and it's not, in my opinion. I don't know if a lot of what trainers are doing is wrong, but when camels go from trainer back to the owner, things fall apart because most owners don't keep up with their animal.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person gets upset with the trainer when most of the time they should be upset with themselves not keeping up with the animal. So instead they call somebody else, and then this trainer says that one wasn't right. Yada, yada, yada. I don't want to be a part of that.
No.
I don't want to be a part of the stigma. At the end of the day, whether you like the way I train animals or not, I know I can train a camel. And I'm not perfect at it. Nobody is. Sometimes I lose focus. Sometimes I get too angry. Sometimes I'm perfect. Sometimes I'm calm.
You're perfect every day.
You're cute. But anyway, I don't want to be a part of the rumor mill that is the camel training realm. And it's not just camels. This is a lot of animal lot of the animal world. Yeah,
animal world. Yeah.
It's all over, but the camel world, as big as it is, it's big to us, but it's really small. I mean, there's definitely less than 10,000 camels in the United States, and we all know each other, and I really don't want to be a part of the rumor mill because I sent a camel back to somebody and they didn't keep up on it, or they tried doing something differently and they ruined the animal that I sent them. Camels are, they're very smart, and no matter what animal it is, no matter what species, training it translates to repetition. It's stuff that you have to do every day until the animal is bomb-proof, until it's ready to work. And if you either quit doing it early, or you don't do it, you hire a trainer, he shows you how to do it, and you don't do it that way, you try to switch it. If that trainer was out for a week, you just ruined everything that he showed you. Repetition is key, and having a routine for these animals is so important. Like my camels don't go through training every day because they're all trained. Newton is still young and dumb, so he goes on walkies more than the rest of them, but I still trust him to throw him in a trailer and take him to a pumpkin farm,
Yeah. He'll work.
He's young and dumb. I mean,
idiots with him.
He's a bottle baby.
Yeah.
Again, if Newton was a mother raised camel, with how good he is, if he was mother raised, he'd be 10 out of 10
yeah.
for sure.
He's so cute.
But my camels aren't worked every day because they know what they're doing. But for camels that are, they're getting used to something, you can't stop. My boys, they have a simple routine daily. Everybody gets a halter, everybody gets tied up, everybody eats their grain. That's as simple as their routine has to be because they know their job already, and that keeps them with manners. Because they know if they want grain, they get a halter. And sometimes Newton's like, no, I don't want a halter, but I catch him and then he eats, and it's fine. And it's not like I'm not chasing him around the yard, Sometimes I just catch the other boys first so I can get him out of the way. And then I grab Newton, put his halter on.
Well, even today, he's like, nope.
Nope.
Really?
He was being a dingus today for sure.
Well, he's jealous.
He probably was a little jealous of Flynn. That's why I think they're going to butt heads the most, because they're both bottle babies. But moral of my story, that's why I don't really want to, have people come in and train their camels at the clinic, because I don't want to be a part of the rumor mill and a part of the mess. Like, I'd rather just be cool with everybody. Honestly, I would, if somebody was going to drop their camel off to get trained here, I would rather it just be like an offshoot, not at a clinic, a random week in the year. I don't care. And even that still runs the risk of sending the camel back and they do something differently, or I fuck it up, or not I fuck it up, they fuck it up. Because, I used a purple rope and they use a red one and the camel don't like red, It's just
common thing.
It's just little shit like that, I mean, the color of the rope never matters, but it's I guess kind of a shitty example.
Which we need more ropes too.
We do need more ropes. Yeah, we need more good ropes.
Yeah.
Not the little crimped like horse lead ropes.
I don't mind them.
They're okay, but I'd rather have braided ropes. Like, that braid ain't going anywhere. I've seen the crimps break, I mean, we can go buy crimps. I mean, they're cheap enough.
I just want to buy a pretty lead.
Just a pretty lead rope?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know, because they look pretty.
Just make another one.
Oh, well, I got to make that that big bastard for Flynn now too.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know what we're gonna use to attach it to the chain.
Well, we went halvesies on that 50-foot of dock line. You never made anything out of it. It's in the drawer over there.
Oh my god.
I made one out of it. You didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So take some of that.
I guess we'll just make it out of that.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well. We have it. It's nice fucking rope.
Yeah.
You know?
Forgot about that stuff. But I still want to make that big rope too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was picking up dock line initially before Fluffy and I split, I accidentally bought 1 inch or something. It's huge rope, and I don't know.
It's for like tying up a yacht.
And I felt so stupid because I've been walking camels for 10 years or whatever, and I go and I'm like, that might be the size, and it's massive. Like, it's like holding a water bottle, you know. I have no idea what in my right mind told me that might be the right size for a lead rope. Maybe for a fucking elephant, but like,
or a giraffe. Yeah.
It's a big, massive rope. Also, while I was in California, I went to the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Wildlife Park. The San Diego Wildlife Park, it was cool. I don't know, it was cool. I liked it. It felt outdoorsy. It was adventurous. I got to see the only 2 platypus in the country.
Which one is that at?
San Diego Wildlife Park.
The park, okay.
Yep. They had a tree kangaroo. They had all types of stuff, and we paid a little extra to go on this bus tour out in like kind of like the actual safari area there, because the safari park, it's a zoo too. You can walk through it. So we paid a little extra to go on the bus, right? And we were talking about the giraffe out there and the rhinoceros and whatever, and the tour guide asked what we were all doing there, and of course nobody wanted to answer. And then I think it was Stacy. She was like, "Oh, we're at camel camp," and the guy was like, "What?" And so of course that led everybody down a rabbit hole with the tour guide. And so a little while into the tour guide brought up this thing. He was like, "Okay, baby giraffe, they're tall, they're babies, but they're still tall." And he was like, a lot of them are probably he was talking a lot about conservation. He said a lot of them in the wild are having trouble living because they can't find food. Their heads are so tall they need to graze. And this guy was saying, I really think he pulled this out of his ass, but he was like, camels are a threat to giraffe in the wild because they're about the same height as the baby giraffe and they eat all the food. So the baby giraffe can't have any. And I didn't argue with the guy because, I mean, there was other people there too, and it wasn't worth it. And it was a good tour, and but I thought about this for a while, and I was like, one, I've seen giraffe graze. They kind of move their legs out crazy and get their head to the ground. It looks stupid and it's probably uncomfortable, but they can do it. 2, they can lay the fuck down and then eat on the floor. So there's that. And then 3, while I'm sure giraffe and camels have crossed paths, probably more than we think, they live on the opposite side of the continent.
Yeah.
Giraffe generally are nowhere near where dromedary camels were.
That was my question.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that guy was saying.
Did he also say the camels hump had water?
He might think that after this conversation.
I mean, elephants too are the same height.
Right,
So, well, their trunk goes everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And I mean, generally the elephants aren't near the camels either.
No.
I mean, that's why if you watch The Lion King, it was one of the first things I questioned when I was younger because I didn't know. I was like, where the fuck are the camels in The Lion King? They're from Africa. And then, you grow up and look at a map and they're from the whole other side of the continent, And
that's a big continent.
Oh, yeah, it's big as fuck. So I thought that was kind of ridiculous. Now, the San Diego Zoo, man, it was okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
got to see a lot of different animals, right?
Nothing I've never seen before.
Really?
I mean, they had okapi, which, you
favorite.
don't see often, but each park had one visible. And then let's see, I don't know. I mean, nothing like super unique, I guess. The okapi is unique. The platypus, of course, but that was at the safari park. I'm trying to think. I don't know. San Diego Zoo, I think it was the zoo. They had Quadamundi, which a lot of zoos don't. A lot of big zoos don't. They had the panda, of course. They're one of like 3 or 4 zoos in the country with pandas since we got them back. I had to stand in a hell of a line to see them.
Really?
It was a long fucking line, and we had to keep moving. They were basically like saying, get your photo and keep moving so other people can see them.
Wow.
And they were cute as a button for sure, but having to go through that line made me kind of care a little less. Like I wanted to sit and observe them and hang out for a little bit, and they were cool, just eating their bamboo shoots. But really, the zoo, it didn't have anything super out of the ordinary. It just had a lot. They had Galapagos tortoises, a million species of monkeys, great apes, hippopotamus, rhino, giraffe. They did giraffe feeding there.
Of course.
The problem with the zoo wasn't the animals. I don't care if they're unique animals or not. I love to see the animals. That's what we're there for. But it reminded me that most bigger municipal zoos, no matter how cool you decorate the den, at the end of the day, it's just surrounded by concrete. And like, I don't like feeling like I'm in a box. And that being said, I'm not a bunny hugger. I don't mind the animals living in these enclosures. I have a zoo, whatever. I just personally, I like mom and pop over, giant concrete. I like the smaller shops more.
Well, and they get more love at places like this too.
Absolutely. It's the private places that spend more time with their animals. The animal we spent the most time looking at the zoo, San Diego Zoo, were the meerkats. Like, there was a baby meerkat running around. There was one on top keeping guard. Like, they're cute, man.
Was the panda the only one you had to wait for?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything else was just like chill. Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everything else was fine. There were a lot of people there. Oh yeah, the panda. Excuse me, I'm tired. I don't get no sleep. But the panda was the only one we had to wait for. And luckily, we got in line when we did, because when we got in line, it like tripled behind us. It grew very quick.
Wow. It just doesn't seem fun.
It wasn't, it took away from, the beauty of seeing the animal.
Did they have any red panda?
They did, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen them so many places. If you're accredited, you get a red panda.
Yeah.
Like, they give them fuckers out like Tootsie Pops.
Well,
they're cool. They're super cute. Then the safari park had a binturong, but it was sleeping in a cage. Or not a cage. It was actually a really cool enclosure, but it was sleeping in a tree in the enclosure.
They do that a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I don't know. Moral of the story is, it's the most powerful zoo in the country, probably, if not one of them.
And it was just meh.
It was meh.
That kills me.
At the end of the day, it was a zoo experience. It was decorated well. The shops were nice. The drink booths, the food, like, everything was good. It was just a zoo.
How much was a beer there?
I don't know. I didn't have one, but my bottle of water was $8.
Oh,
yeah. I bought it was in a can. I bought a can of water right when I got in, just in case, because it was dumb. I should have walked the park first, but I was thirsty. But you can refill the water bottle at any like food station when you go through. That's cool. And then you could get a reusable cup for $11 for soda, and the refills for $3. So that wasn't too bad.
that's crazy.
But like, the amount, I mean, we were there all fucking day, well, we were at the safari park literally all day, and then the zoo, we tried to leave by noon or 1 o'clock, so we spent about 4 hours at the zoo. It is big. It's a lot to walk through. But we made sure we left that one kind of early so we could get to Camel Camp that day. So we went there on Saturday. We stopped at In-N-Out Burger after the zoo and then went to Camel Camp. I got a 4x4. You know, if nobody's been to In-N-Out Burger before, there's only a couple things on the menu. Most of their menu is the secret menu, which everybody knows about. It's online. You get a 4x4. It's got 4 patties. And I sure felt fat that day. But man, it was good. It was good.
It doesn't even sound appetizing.
It was delicious, man. But you're never around an In-N-Out burger, so I was like, gotta do it. Gotta get the 4x4.
Yeah.
It's some tasteful, nasty grease for sure.
Yeah, you still won't win me on that one.
You'll try it one day. You've had In-N-Out? Well, you gotta try a 4x4. It's like going to A&W here. I swear to God, A&W's only good if you get a double cheeseburger.
You have to get a double.
But I think so. I came up with a theory on that recently. Actually, I think you have to get the double for the grease out of the patties because their buns are so yeasty. I don't know why they're so yeasty, but like you can almost choke on it if you only get a single patty.
I don't know. I like their buns there.
They taste good, but like there's still powder on the fucking things.
Yeah, they're kind of dusty.
But that's been my last couple weeks. I went to California, came back. I putzed around for a day, and the next morning, Fluffy and my brother and I went to get Flynn, and here we are. It's been a hell of a few weeks. Rigdon Ranch is now open. You know, we talked about getting open an episode or two ago. I think 2 ago. But we're open now. You know, I've been doing tours again. Tours are going good. If anybody, is looking for a spot, reserve it, rigdonranch.com. You can come check out our kookaburra, pet some capybaras, meet some camels, check out the gift shop. It's a good time, and we are open. I definitely am trying to get back to doing TikTok lives. I miss the people on there and hanging out and, just making content, but it's been hard. We've been super busy. We just finished a new kangaroo hut. If we didn't say that in the last one, we've been building stuff like crazy. The camel deck for the camel caravans is almost done. We're working on getting that up. It's been busy.
Still a lot of work to do, and it's not even even close.
It's never gonna end, truly. But a few more years we'll get closer.
There's some light at the end of the tunnel, but
for sure.
It's a long tunnel.
Yeah, you can see the light, without seeing the end somehow.
You just know that it's the end because of the light, though. There is an end.
It's very small. Like you can see like a light in like a dime-sized hole. But we're gonna be working with Flynn a lot over the next couple weeks. We'll keep you guys updated. I'll have to make some more TikTok videos. I just made a video introducing him because some people on the live asked. And once we're more comfortable with Flynn, I'll do lives with him. I don't think we're far off of being comfortable just leading him. But he needs to get used to his surroundings and the shoot. We got to finish getting them ticks out of his ear and just shit like that, He needs to quit cushing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So
he's good at it, though.
When he was a baby, they clearly taught him to sit because that's his trick to try and get out of things. So anytime he's unhappy, he sits, which he gets right back up when we say, get the fuck up, which doesn't, you think he would just be like, I'm just not going to sit anymore. But
that's his trick, though.
Yeah. They probably praised him for that incredibly hard,
Yeah.
He's like, look what I can do.
I get it. He's not the first one to see you do that, so.
No, for sure. But yeah, it's been a busy few weeks, and we're hoping next week to get a guest on for you guys. We're gonna either just have somebody fun to shoot the shit with, go back and forth with, or we'll try and get another animal expert. We'll see what happens. But I think it's probably about 5 o'clock or something like that. 6 o'clock. Oh man, it's time for bed. So everybody, we appreciate you chiming in this week per usual. We really, really love doing these podcasts for you guys and spreading misinformation. I'm just kidding. We're not liars here. I'm just playing. But we really appreciate you guys. Fake news, China. But Fluffy.
Happy hump day, everybody.